Hey, Conscious Habit listeners. My goal is to help support you on your journey of discovering how to live from your highest and most fulfilled self at home and at work. And in that vein, I have some thoughts I'd like to share with you today. So meditate on this. Friends, I believe that there is only one thing, and we are all it. Now, not asking you to shift whatever your personal belief systems are, but I think most people that I talk to, regardless of whether they have a more scientific viewpoint, a more religious viewpoint, a more spiritual viewpoint, whatever it is, they do believe that, hey, we all come from the same thing, the same experience, the same God, whatever, again, title that you decide to put on it, which means there is this collective, this consciousness, this collective that we're all a part of. However, what we've done over time is we've created labels, and labels have created separateness. So if I call myself this religion, but you call yourself that religion, that creates separateness. If I call myself this political affiliation, but you call yourself that political affiliation, that creates separateness. And in our separateness, our ego begins to grow. Ego is needed, it is necessary, and yes, we all have one. Every single one of us. Ego is the part that is designed to protect us. But the thing about ego is that it sees threats in places it doesn't belong. And that's why we're experiencing so much divisiveness and heaviness right now, because what's happening is your belief system being different than mine is a threat. And sometimes it truly is a physical threat. I'm not going to deny that. But I view it as a threat, and therefore, in order for me to be right, you need to be wrong. But the challenge is you see things the same way. And so what we're doing together is amplifying this behavior, but each feeling justified because I feel more righteous in my hate of hating your hate, because my hating your hate is better than your hate of, whatever. Like it really is amplifying the same behavior and the same energy. And I want to just share with you this conscious take. If you are listening to this, it is because you give a damn about being a conscious human in your work and in your world and everywhere. And if you are inspired by this in any way, I want you to share it with someone else that you think is also a conscious being, because it is going to take a collective of us to truly make impact happen. There is heaviness in the world right now. And if you feel deeply, you probably know what it's like to wake up carrying these emotions that don't feel like your own. Have you been having days like that where you're like, I just feel so heavy. I feel so tired. I feel so, anxious, whatever they are. And I want to encourage you not to make those your own immediately. Our brain likes to try and then search for meaning. If we're having this feeling or experience in the body, the brain likes to say, let me figure out why this is coming from. And it can always figure out a reason. Even if it isn't truly our own, it can always find something to blame. But science tells us that the earth has this measurable heartbeat. It's called the Schumann Resonance, and the frequency of the earth's electromagnetic field is measured by this. Have you ever heard of the Schumann Resonance scale? You can look it up, you can Google it. What's interesting is that researchers have been able to identify that right before big events, like they were able to measure this before 9/11, the Schumann resonance was off the charts the day before 9/11 happened, which tells us there is some sort of collective consciousness, collective awareness that we are unaware of, but that has this understanding, this connection that we have, and the frequency is measurable. And the spikes when this happens are measurable through the Schumann resonance scale. So if we know that the earth can register the energy of the collective, it is really not a stretch to think that our individual energy feeds into that bigger field. We also know that energy can't be created or destroyed, but it can shift. It can be shifted into new aspects. So the way that we show up knowing that also matters. What we do with that heaviness, that fear, that anger, that frustration, whether it has simply met us in a moment or it was sparked by reading a headline or reading a comment section or a meeting that you just left for that matter. What doesn't matter, right? But us being highly aware of what it is that we do with these emotions that are created within us, because we do have the ability to shift. Could we shift fear into compassion? Could we shift hate into love? Could we shift heaviness into lightness. But we have to be the conscious vessel to make that happen. And what's inspired this podcast is that I've been practicing this myself. There have been a lot of times this year, really in the last 2 years, that I have had a lot of heaviness meet me. And some of it potentially my own, but some of it I think just saying, hey, hello, can I come in? Can you help me shift to a greater energy? I think some of it is just coming to those of us who are the vessels and asking to be shaped and shifted into a higher, more conscious energy. So if you're a feeler, you're going to notice it in your body. You're going to sense the heaviness. And if you feel safe to, that's the caveat, I encourage you to sit with it. Pour it a cup of tea. Say, come on in, anger. You can sit down. It's okay. Everything's all right here. Talk to me. What's going on? Allow it to really be felt and understood and wrap it in love and compassion so that it can be shifted to a new energy. And we can continue to impact the collective, but from a more conscious position rather than the unconscious that is just amplifying what we do not like or appreciate or want within our world. And I also want to share that this isn't about being a pacifist and doing nothing, of saying, oh, we just need to feel and the world will become a better place. No, of course we need to take action, but we want to take action more aligned with that which we want more of, not that which we want less of. If I take action inspired by hate, even though it feels like, but my hate is more loving than your hate, all we're going to do is amplify more hate, more frustration, more misunderstanding, more divisiveness. But if I can allow myself to transmute that hate, anger, and fear into love, compassion, and lightness within me, it will incite more loving, more compassionate thoughts, feelings, and actions from myself and the collective. Also, and not either or. So I call upon you, my conscious friends, to keep doing your part, keep showing up as conscious beings, keep loving when it feels impossible to do so, and keep spreading the conscious message so others can do the same.